Great. So we are back here with session 6. This is making a presentation. We have some various different presentation software that you might have heard of before. The main one being PowerPoint. Google Slides, that's also part of the Google Office that we're working with. But today we're going to be focusing on Canva. It is nice free software that we're going to be using. Yes. What is Canva? It's an online graphic design tool, which I think is really neat because it's more than just a presentation. We can create social media posts, posters, videos, logos, and more. There are both free and paid plans. We're going to be utilizing the free stuff today as much as possible. If you can tell, if a feature or an image is paid for, as the Pro crown will appear next to it. That's this. So when we get into making our presentations, you'll see some of those about. And it doesn't mean that you cannot use it. It just means that there will be a watermark on the image or the graphic that you choose that has the Pro. So on to our next slide. We are going to be making a presentation here today in Canva. We are going to use one of the topics. I'm going to pick the topic, how to tell a joke. Within this presentation slide, we are going to need a total of 5 slides. These 5 slides consist of, first, the welcome slide, a content slide, and then 2 information slides, and 1 thank you slide, or our conclusion slide. So we've got all 5 in total. Now, we're going to get into it. So, how do I start something on Canva? What I'm going to do on my desktop, not on my desktop, sorry, in my web browser, I'm going to open up a new tab. And in my Google search bar, I'm going to type Canva. And the first thing that comes up here is Home Canva. I'll take that. So I'm going to press Enter. And this is Canva. Now, because we've already logged into Google, we've set up our Gmail, you might notice that you are already there, which is wonderful because we're already signed in. It's going to save it all. That's one thing I really like about Canva is it auto saves, just like Google does for us, which means that it saves in time as we do the project. Now, we are going to come right next door to our profile and create a design. Now, this gives you all of the different things that you can make within Canva. We want to click on presentation right here, second one from the top. I'm going to click it. And here we go. This is a blank Canva project right for us. So as we go around, I'm going to just introduce us to things as we go. First of all, I see my profile. That's great. I know it's me. We're not going to get into these yet, but let's give this a title presentation. This presentation, a title. So I told you I'm how to tell a joke. That's what my presentation is about. So I've named it, and I've clicked off of it. It's auto-saved. This as well is helping you to save all changes, but I know that I've done this already. If I'd like to go back, undo something, I can. These are kind of edit bits. What I'd like to get into right now is all of this stuff here. This big, nice black search bar on the side. I can make it disappear. I can bring it back. I want it back. There we go. So let's go through and talk about some of these. Templates are the easiest way to make a presentation. If I kind of hover over these, I can see that it says 1 of 14. And if I keep over it, it might go to the second one. It's going to give us a view of all the pages that's within that. For my presentation, I don't know if you remember, but I only need 5 slides. So I'm not going to worry with these. There's layouts that'll help make things just a bit more simple. We're going to use these in just a minute. Before I do that, I'd like to talk through some more of these options here. Elements, these are things that you can select and put into your page. Photos or pictures or shapes, images. You can upload files. These two files here have been uploaded by me just simply from upload files, and it takes me to the files on my computer. I'm going to cancel that because it's literally the same photo that you see here. Text. This is nice. I really enjoy this because this heading, subheading, body of text, it's very similar to what we were using in the Google Suite. It's something that I'm getting used to and how the functions work. So it's just nice to have that continuity. Now, before we start doing anything, putting things into pages, this here tells me I'm on page 1. Now, this plus sign, it means we can add a page. I'm going to, right off the bat, I'm going to put 5 pages in because I know that I need 5 for my presentation. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I have all 5 pages, and you can see it's still on page 5. I'm going to switch it back to 1 so that I can start making my presentation. Now that we've got all of that, just the little bits of the navigation down, let's start making our presentation. So I've come back here to these layouts because I like that I can pick various layouts to go within the pages of my presentation. The first one I'm going to do, I'm going to pick this one here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it with my trackpad and I'm going to drag it over. And when I do that, it fits to the whole page, as you can see here. Let's talk about this background here. This is called a placeholder picture. Now, it looks nice enough. If I wanted that, I could use that. But a placeholder is just to be there in place of something else until we find one. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to come here to Elements, and I'm going to search landscape background. Now, we talked about these Pro. I'm going to drag one in here just to show you what it looks like. Drag over. Now, the Pro, you'll still be able to use them, but as you can see, there are watermarks. I don't really want that. So I'm going to look around and try to find one. Okay, here's one. This is nice, and there's no Pro icon on it. So I'm going to drag that one over. Great. I actually really like how that looks. Perfect. We're going to try to use this continuously throughout our presentation. Now that I've got my placeholder changed out, let's talk about this text. So if I've just hovered my mouse over, you can see that it's kind of gotten this purple box around it. I haven't clicked it yet, but when I do, you can see all these options come up. I can now move it, which is great. And while I'm moving this, you can see that line came into the middle. These are to help us know where the boundaries of our presentation are. I don't want to go much above this box because if I do a presentation on a big board, it won't show on the outside. It'd be gray space. And the center line is to center these things. So title page with photo. Let's change this text here. I'm going to double click at the very end to select the text. Now, my presentation is on how to tell a joke. Within this, I mean, it looks pretty centered, but I want to just make sure. I didn't actually need to highlight that because I'm still in the purple text box, but I'm going to check the alignment. There we go. It already was center aligned. Perfect. Within this, we've become a little bit more familiar with these. We can change it to all uppercase. I don't want that. We can underline it. I'm going to change the text color because this is a really fun little option that we have here. We know that we can change colors, but because I've chosen this photo from the elements, it's giving me colors that naturally match up with the scheme that I'm using. So I do like that. I'm going to see what this green looks like. It looks like it blends in. Okay, I'll leave that. Now I'd like to change this text here. Actually, before I do that, maybe I don't want this box. Maybe I don't want this text box at all. So here's our options, but I'm just going to say delete. Just want to delete that. Oh, maybe I've done that as an accident, so I'm going to undo, and I've got it back. Just little shortcuts. Now write a date or subtitle. I'm just going to put my name so that we know this is my work. Bye, Emma. Perfect. I'd like to increase this font. So I'd like to make the font bigger, meaning that I need to come up here and I need to make the number increase. So let's just do it little by little so we can watch that grow. Cool. I'll take that. Let's move on to our next slide. So we talked about the 5 slides that we needed. The first one, we needed our welcome slide. The second one that we need is a content slide. It's a slide that will tell us what is the contents of the rest of the presentation. So I'm going to go back to my templates page and my layouts. And if I look through these just really quickly, I might find one that I like. I need one that matches what I'm doing, but that allows me to add points of contents. So right off that, I think this one seems to fit, or this one. I like this one. It's a little bit bolder. So I've just clicked it. Here we go. We're going to change some of these elements in here now. So we're going to change this, the contents, steps. I'm just going to write how to tell a joke. Now with this text box, I don't really like the way that it's at, so I can change it a bit, add this, change the size. I do like that this is now left aligned. I can tell already that I'm not gonna like how it is if it's centered. So I'm gonna try that just to show you. I don't really like that. I'm gonna take it back to the left align. Perfect. Now this has already given me these bullet points. I don't necessarily need all of them, so I'm going to delete these. Ooh, all of it. There we go. So the first one here, and again, I just need to click on the box. If it's highlighted, I can change the content within it. Double clicking. How to tell a joke. My first step is set up joke. My second step is deliver punchline. And the last step is to laugh. There we go. So I have numbered these steps within here, and actually I'm going to use that within my next slides. Before we move to this though, this kind of looks a little bit bland. So I think what I'm going to do is come over to my elements, and actually I'm going to double click this because I want the image, just one of them in here. And I'm going to make it smaller. Now I don't really like this, so actually I'm going to change this. I'm just going to delete it. Instead of adding any graphics here, I don't want to give my joke away yet, so I'm going to save it for a later page. I'm just going to leave this page as it is. Coming to page 3. Now, we know from our contents page that this has to be the joke setup page. So I'm coming back to my templates. I particularly enjoy these 2 options here. I think I'm going to choose this one for setting up my joke, and then I'm going to deliver my punchline on the next page. So this heading here, let's actually change our elements first. So I'm going to drag this image in because it matches with my other one, and we might as well get the template ready for this one because I said I liked these. They're like sister templates. And I'm going to change that photo there. Ooh, take that out. drag and drop. There we go. So now let's go back and change all of the text within this. So the heading for this one, if we can remember, we want to set up the joke. So set up joke. Now what I'd like to do with this joke setup here is I'm going to change this text box. There we go. It all fits on one line now. I like that. And I'm going to center align that. I've already changed the picture. Let's change the font color within this. I'm going to choose this nice green, the darker green. I'm going to change this text. We don't want start inspired with thousands of templates. My joke setup, I'm going to leave it in black text. And I'm going to put in quotes. What is the best time to go to the dentist? Now, this does need to be a little bit more fancy, so I'm going to center align that, maybe make it bold. Might change the font. I'm gonna say this bold one here. Didn't really change it all that much, but I just wanted to show you that we can edit these things. So, I like that. I'm content with that. I'm gonna press escape, so I'm on the page, big full page now, and I'm just pressing my over arrow, and funnily enough, I've gone on to the next slide. I'm going to recap that because I don't know if I made that very clear earlier. So if I've selected something, has all of these options here. If I want to change or move it, the best thing to do is press the escape button on your computer, and then you can work better. You'll be able to then move it without changing text. I've had some issues with that in the past. Now, this is our fourth page. So this is the second step in telling our joke. And we decided that it was deliver punch line. So I'm going to change this text to exactly that. Deliver punchline. I'm going to change the size of this text because it's a little too big. And I'm going to center this. I like that. Now, before we change the color to this, we chose that nice dark green. Perfect. Now, my punchline, I've decided that instead of using this text here, I would like to make it a little bit nicer. Get a little more of a surprise. So I'm going to delete this text box, and in the text, I'm going to choose one of these pre-settings of text. I like this glow option here because it looks like it's glowing. So I'm going to drag and drop. Cool. I definitely don't need it that big, so we're going to resize it. Bring it up here. Now I need to text my punchline delivery. We remember what the joke was. What time is what's the best time to go to the dentist? Ooh. Tooth hurty. You get it? Yeah. So, obviously this text isn't fitting into the box. We need to drag and drop and change the size. There we go. Now, this pink is quite atrocious with our color scheme. Nothing against pink, it just doesn't match what we're doing. So I can choose again from the default colors, or I can make my own if I want to. Making my own color. This is the black spectrum to white, and you can pick color schemes within there. So let's say I like this blue. There we go. That's my color now. And I've chosen that. There we go. Punchline, tooth hurty. Great. So let's do our last slide. It is just our thank you slide. So I'm going to go back to these elements here. Oh, sorry, templates. My layout. Let's do this one. So we go back to our elements. This is the background that we've chosen before, dragging and dropping. I'm going to use my text because I did put in our steps. Step 3 was to laugh. So I'm gonna put that in there. Ooh, and before I do any of that, I'm just going to type laugh. Laugh you. We can take this U out. Ooh, I'm just gonna, it's because I have this exclamation point there. U can be erased. So laugh. And you can see this box is like off to the side. You can rotate it differently, but I like that. It's a little bit obnoxious, but I'll take it. Now I've got the whole element. I can drag it up a bit. Cool. I'm going to take that as good. Add a section title here. This is, I'm just going to write thank you because we wanted to make sure this was a thank you slide. And funny, I used the thank you text to write laugh. I like this though, and because laugh is in the center, I'm going to try to right align this. And let's make it all capitals. Change it to this nice blue. Oh, you can't see that. White, I'll take that. Great. So, in conclusion, I have all 5 of my slides here. That's great. So now, what do we do with these slides? There are a couple of options. You can start looking at it this way by just closing that window for all of your options. And if you click on the first one, you can then use your arrow keys to go through. Alternatively, this is the best way. Present. Present right here up in this upper corner. Standard is what we're going to use. And as you can see, it's now into full screen mode for me. And once we're in present, there's lots of options that you can cater with this, tailor to it. So you can have things kind of animated, moving in and out. As you get out of this, all I need to do is press the escape button. And you can see I'm now back into my main dashboard. If we don't want to present this immediately, we can also use the share option. I already mentioned earlier that everything is auto-saving very quickly as we go. If I want to share this with anyone, just the same as in Google, I type in an address. And there we go. I can add a message if I want to, and I'm going to send it on over. Invite a team. Okay. Now, as well within this sharing, download, that might be useful to you. And it will download, you can choose what kind of, what type of file that you would like this to be saved as. Before you download it, make sure that you have named your project so that you don't just have download file 65kp3, whatever. As well within here, I'd like to highlight the more option. And this is a huge list of options of how we can download and publish this presentation. The one I really want to show to you here is downloading it as a Microsoft PowerPoint, because some of us and some of our computers might have more access to PowerPoint. It might be something that we've used a lot. This is really helpful. Or I can save it to my Google Drive. There's lots and lots of options within here. If you'd like any more information or help with these, definitely get in touch with us at PodTech and we can help you out. But that's the easiest way to make a Canva presentation. Make sure that you share it, send it, save it to wherever you would like, and then it's yours to use as often as you'd like.